This is Charlie Key. You are listening to the Be a Light podcast. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden."
Hello, Kitty. Welcome to the Be a Light podcast. I'm excited to have you. Kitty is my sister, and she's a junior, rising senior at Point Park University in Pittsburgh. So she drove 13 hours to be here. Not just for this, obviously, but I'm excited to have you. So let's get right into it. The question of the Be a Light podcast is why? Why do you do what you do? Because I believe that fuels you with determination and motivation to do what you do at 100%. So what is your why in life?
Okay, well, my why in life, I feel that it's constantly changing and growing as I become older and as I figure out who I am more. And but right now I'm at school learning how to be a performer, I guess you could say. And so I feel like my why somewhat deals with that right now. When I perform, I strive to create a place where people can come to laugh. They can cry if they need to cry, to take a break from whatever life is throwing their way, you know, to feel joy, to feel happiness. Like that's a place that I want to create for people that I perform to or sing to or whatever. And so I've always felt that people will always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And so my why is my voice. I feel it's to help others feel and, you know, to make a difference in their lives.
And I love that because that sounds like a very servant-hearted why. And we're, you know, Jesus in the Bible, he calls us all to be servants, and he says that he came to be a servant and we need to serve others as well. And that's what you're doing, even with performing and everything that you do. It's very obvious that you do that and everything. So you are an overcomer, and I look up to you every day for that because your story is incredible. So you used to do competitive cheer, and you know, you thought that'd be something that you were doing for a long time, but you had an accident, and then God had different plans. You started singing, and you hit some obstacles with that as well. So you want to just tell us your story?
My whole story, or start from when I started singing? What do you want? Anything?
You can start from cheer. Start from cheer.
Okay. Well, when I was younger, I think third grade, I was really into competitive cheerleading, and I thought that's what I was going to do. I was like, I'm going to be a competitive cheerleader. I'm going to be on the middle school team, the high school team, you know, everything. And in third grade, I broke my arm. Got the nice scars to prove it. You can't really see them right now. Yeah. But yeah, I broke my arm, and that was hard because I was like, well, what do I do now? You know, I'm not a cheerleader, obviously, anymore. And I had mental blocks from that accident. And so then I got into singing by my middle school chorus teacher. And she kind of brought that out of me. She made me sing the national anthem at school. And one of Mom's friends actually worked at the school and called Mom and was like, "Hey, Kitty's singing the national anthem over the intercom." And Mom was like, "Kitty, are you sure that it's Kitty?" And I did do that. But then after that, that was my new purpose. I said, like, you know, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that God puts things in your life for a reason. And all throughout middle school, that's kind of what I did. I did musicals. We were in musicals together. And I performed. That's what I wanted to do. I started singing in church with the worship team, do school productions, everything, like performing wise, I guess, is what I thought was my new purpose in life. And then my junior year of high school, I developed a cyst on my right vocal cord fold. And what a cyst does is it doesn't allow your vocal cords to fold completely. So my voice got really raspy, and I sounded like a man.
Really deep.
I sounded like a man. And I went and had therapy. I had to have therapy and then surgery and then recovery or whatever you call it.
2 weeks of vocal rest. You could not talk.
Yeah, I could not talk at all.
I could never. I talk too much.
But anyways, that was like a hard time in my life because once again, I felt that my purpose in life was kind of thrown off course. You know, I felt sad. I didn't feel like myself because I couldn't do what I always loved to do. I was scared, and I did question. I was like, why did I have to get this? You know, but then my cousin actually told me that she texted me and said that God will put obstacles in your life, and it's how you overcome them that define who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And so I chose to overcome it with positivity and gratitude. And I was thankful for this experience overall because it made me stronger as a person. I got to relearn everything about the voice. And it solidified that my purpose in life is to sing and to use my voice.
Yeah. And God didn't take you through all that to leave you. Yeah. And so he's going to continue to bless you. He's going to continue to help you on your journey and on your path with singing. And so do you want to tell everyone where you go to college and what your major is?
Oh, goodness, yes. So I go to Point Park University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is far away from here, and it's very cold. I will say that. And my major is a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater Arts. So I do a little bit of everything. I direct, I playwright. That's not really my route. I do like directing though. Yeah. But I also sing, I have voice lessons, I take acting classes. Just I get a chance to do pretty much everything. Yeah. So it's nice.
That is really cool. And yeah, you're definitely a director. I remember when we were younger, we used to make movies on iMovie. Kitty, our cousin, and I would film these movies, and she was always the director.
I was.
There's the musical Hairspray. We tried to recreate that.
We did do Hairspray.
I wish we could find them, but the iPad broke that they were on. But those were definitely, you've always been a director. So what has been the most rewarding part of your college experience?
Okay, well, I moved 13 hours from home. And that takes a leap of faith, you know, that takes definitely. A lot of confidence, a lot of bravery. And thankfully I have such a supportive family at home that encourages me and supports me and loves me and allowed me to take that opportunity to go away from home. And the most rewarding experience for me personally is that moving away from home and going to college is a time where you are on your own. And yes, it can be lonely at times and you can feel sad, but you can also feel happy and everything. But I think I've truly started to grow into who I am and figure out my why. And it's helped me have more confidence in who I am, what I believe in, and I think that's it. Just really getting to know yourself has been the most rewarding experience for me.
Because when you're on your own, you know, sometimes at home, it can be like, you know, even with faith, it's like, you know, you go to church because your parents go to church. You go to school because your parents make you go to school. But at college, they can't make you do those things because you're far away. And so you have to make those decisions for yourself. And that's, I guess, when you find out what you're made of and who you are.
Yeah.
So we have been performing with each other for many, many years. Our first play together was Annie.
Yes,
we were orphans.
We were orphans.
What has been your favorite role to play?
Okay, well, I'm going to be honest. It had to be Wizard of Oz, my senior year of high school. You got to do that one with me.
Yeah.
But also, I think it was so sentimental because it was my senior year, and this was the last show that I'd do at school with all my friends. And also, the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, the character Dorothy, you know, she leaves home.
Yeah.
She goes to a place she's not familiar with, and she meets so many people along the way that change her life for the better, you know, and she says a line, there's no place like home. And that's something that I still remember, there's no place like home. I love being able to come home. So I guess it was Dorothy was going and experiencing a new life, and I was about to do that too. So that's why it was sentimental. But honestly, probably the best part was when Charlie was in charge of putting on my red slippers, my red sparkly Dorothy slippers. And this had to happen on stage. So people, the little munchkins surrounded me while Charlie snuck behind and put on my shoes. But the issue was that one time she put them on the wrong
I think it was opening night.
Opening night. I don't know. But anyways, the red shoes are a pivotal moment when everyone stares at them as oh my gosh, your shoes. And they were on the wrong feet. Yeah. And that was the best part. And I tried to stand to where people wouldn't tell they were on the wrong feet either.
But the thing is, she was when I was putting them on, she was kicking me. And so I thought, oh no, I'm going too slow. I got to get out of here. So I just left. at practice, I would always check and make sure, okay, I'm putting them on the right beat. And that time I was like, I'm good. I gotta go. I just got a little overconfident. So, it's going to be confident, but, when we become overconfident, so when we slip up.
That was probably one of my favorite shows.
Highlight of the show, definitely. Yes. So you sing a lot. You can play the guitar. What's your favorite genre to sing?
Well, I've really gotten into country. Like,
oh yeah,
in the past year, I've even learned how to play the tambourine with a little country folk song. You don't see the tambourine every day. But yeah, that's probably my favorite genre to sing. I just feel like country music is where I'm from. I mean, we're from the South. We're from Georgia. And, and also country music, to me, the artists that I personally like to listen to, their music tells a story.
Yeah.
And it's easier for me to connect when I'm like telling a story through like the song and the lyrics.
Mm-hmm. So Dolly Parton's really good at that.
That's
love her
true.
So much.
We love Dolly.
Yeah. We spend every Thanksgiving in her hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we are 6 years apart, and I love that we have that age gap because you're so much older that you can give me advice that you would have wanted when you were my age. So what advice would you give your high school self?
Wow. Okay. I'm trying to remember high school. Honestly, everything's like a blur now. But I feel like something that I always tell you is that high school can be hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place and a time where you like start finding out who you are, or maybe you already know who you are, but it's you're growing into who you are supposed to become, and it can be hard. People can be mean, and I feel like I always tell you to like block that out, to stay true to who you are, to stay true to your morals and your values and beliefs, and then just be yourself. Don't let the people get you down. I know that's easier said than done, because there have been times when I've been hurt by something, but that would be the one thing. Just be confident in who you are, and don't let anyone, tear you down.
Yeah, because it can be easy, high school people always sharing their opinions on you and your personality. And it's important to remember that, I don't need their approval. I don't need to do anything for their approval, because I already have God's approval. Yeah. And I can be confident in who I am because I know who made me. And so I don't have to be looking around and looking at everyone else, because my delight comes from the Lord. It doesn't come from the world. So with the end of the school year approaching, many people are graduating, including my brother, and starting new chapters. So what advice would you give to someone entering college?
Okay. Well, college. I'm in college right now. Yeah. So like I've said before, college, I feel like, is a time where you truly start to develop who you are on your own. And I've said that it can be hard sometimes. It can be lonely. I sound depressing, but that's true. You have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared that it's not always going to be great, because you are on your own and you're trying to meet new friends and all that stuff. But I would just say the biggest advice that I can give, once again, is what's helped me the most is just staying true to who I am. Yeah. And that means doing my devotionals every day. I may not be perfect at it, may not get it done every day. Yeah. But that is a priority that I've tried to do. And that's helped me get in the right headspace and the mindset for my days to come. Also, I'm trying to think, like, to keep in touch with your family. That's helped me the most, I think. So I would say, be intentional about making sure you stay connected with loved ones. If, family is not the first person you go to, maybe you have good friends from back home that feel like family, just staying connected to people that love and care about you. Yeah. I guess that's advice.
Yeah. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. That's, like an old saying. And that's very true. You got to surround yourself with good people. Yeah, that doesn't mean, don't hang out with people who maybe don't have the same morals as you, because you can still hang out with those kinds of people, but your inner circle shouldn't be those kinds of people that way, because your inner circle is going to influence you the most. And Jesus had his circles. He had John and Peter were his, I guess, main disciples, you could call them. And then there were the other 12. And then there were the people that he reached out to, like the tax collectors that the Pharisees would criticize him for spending time with. But he would go and eat with them because he knew that he came to be a servant and influence their lives. And he can't influence their lives if he's too scared to be around them.
Yeah.
Well, so
that's perfect. Yes. Just surround yourself with, good people.
Yeah.
What you were
definitely.
saying, that's my advice. That's my advice. Right?
So you and your boyfriend have some fascinating hobbies. So he introduced you to metal detecting and magnet fishing.
Yes.
So I've never heard of that before. Well, I heard of metal detecting, but what is magnet fishing?
All right. So magnet fishing is, it's just the way it sounds pretty much. You have a magnet, a pretty decent sized magnet, like circular magnet on a rope, on a very long rope. And you literally just throw the rope and the magnet into the water. You just sling it on out and it goes to the bottom and you just drag it back up. And there might be some metal stuck to it or not.
What is y'all's best find?
I would have to say a bicycle. We pulled a bicycle out of one of the rivers in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A full bicycle. I have like a video of the pure shock on my boyfriend's face as he was picking it up because we could not believe that we just pulled a bicycle out of the river. It had like all these like clam type stuff stuck all over it. It was people actually stopped and took photos by it. I'm not kidding. We left it up on the on like the sidewalk and leaned it up against a wall. And we would have friends that would go near it and be like, people are taking photos at the bike. So that's probably the greatest catch
that is so cool. That's so funny. So you competed in the Miss America organization. I think your junior year, right? Is it junior year in high school?
Yeah, because I had the cyst.
Yeah. She competed at Miss Georgia with a cyst on her vocal cords, and she sang "Somewhere Over the Rainbow."
I did actually,
and they had to lower the key very low, but it was still beautiful. Beautiful. What was your favorite part of competing?
I'm trying to think back to that time. Honestly, one of my favorite parts was, I think, the amount of support that I had from my family and friends and from even girls at the competition. You never know how much people support you until you get into like a situation, I got flowers from someone's mom that I was friends with their kid, you know what I mean? It really shows how much people support you and encourage you and like want to be there and cheer you on. And then another part I think was like working with my cyst in a way. I knew I had to sing at Miss Georgia with the cyst because I was getting surgery like a couple weeks after Miss Georgia. That's just how it all timed out. But yeah, just being confident in what my voice could do at that moment was very, I guess, an experience I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's, I think it was just a reminder that God is always going to be there for me. And, everything does happen for a reason and to trust him in the moments, even when I feel like it's not going to work out, just to have that, that trust in him. Yeah, I think I ended up winning like a talent award.
Yeah, you won a non-finalist talent award, which
so,
is really awesome, especially first year and having a cyst.
I didn't really. That was just like a reminder that God works in mysterious ways, and that was a reminder once again that this is my purpose.
Yeah, exactly. And having the cyst, I'm sure you had some doubts of, is this what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to do something else? But then, getting that and making it through that and him helping you through that was just a reminder. And God is wonderful about speaking in those, small and big moments. You have been a mentor for me my entire life. You have. And I look up to you every day. So I'm curious to know who your mentor is.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to say mom for that one, Charlie. Yeah. You knew that was coming. Yeah. Our mom's pretty awesome. I will say she always gives 100%, and that inspires me to always work hard because she always tells us that hard work will pay off in the end. And sometimes it's hard to see that when you're given so much work and dedication, but I believe that that's true. And she also strives to make us our best selves and to remind us to always, strive to be our best selves. Like
Yeah.
I just said. So
Yeah.
yeah. And also, Charlie, this is gonna throw you off, but you are definitely a mentor to me. Even though you're the younger sister, you're the younger sister, I always look up to you. And I was actually talking to Mom about this, and she feels the same way about you.
Thank you.
You're always so dedicated and hardworking, and you treat people with, such kindness. I feel like you treat them the way that people want to be treated, the golden rule or whatever they call that. But
it's very sweet.
Yeah, and your relationship with God personally inspires me to grow in my relationship.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're a light, Charlie. In
Thank you.
lives.
You are a
Be
light. That's what this podcast is about. You're a light. We're shining a light on your light to inspire others to do the same.
You inspire me. So.
Thank you. Inspire me. Something we were talking about the other day is finding a hobby that can kind of be an escape where you can rest and find peace and just get back in a good mindset, because it can be easy to get overwhelmed with a bunch of tasks that you may have at hand. And I know personally for me right now, I'm really busy and I'm just, trying to find that restful place. And for me, it's been spending time with friends and my family and playing soccer. And I love soccer so much. It really does bring me peace and rest. And I think exercise, that's a big part of the reason soccer does that for me, is because, it's good endorphins and it makes you feel better. And also reading my Bible, because that always brings me to peace and redirects my thoughts to positive ones rather than toxic thoughts. So what do you do to slow down and get back in a good headspace?
All right, I'm going to be very honest. I'm a big overthinker, and
I know. It's okay.
So even this interview,
you're an Enneagram 6. You're an Enneagram 6.
Even this interview has made me overthink millions of things.
It's okay.
But so overthinking causes me to have a lot of unnecessary worry and anxiety about the smallest of things and the biggest of things. And when I feel this way, I really try to make an effort. I'm not perfect at it by any means, but to go to my devotional, to go to my Bible and open it up. And I've been doing that a lot recently because I've had a little bit more anxiety. I mean, coming home is not anxious, but it's such a big shift. It's like I'm in one state one day and another state the other day, and I got this.
Yeah.
So, but and every time I've opened it recently, it's been just what I needed to hear. It's amazing that like God sends little messages like that. But yeah, it's been, so that's really what has helped me, and praying. And I just, I feel like a sense of peace and calmness whenever I do that. Definitely. And also exercise, most definitely, because it's good for your mind, body, really and spirit. It helps me.
It's hard in the moment, but then afterwards you just feel 10 times better. You may be a little sore, but like you just feel better. Yeah. I mean, that is how it is for me. So we have a very big family. When we have, trips and stuff, it's like a whole caravan driving down the interstate. But so what's your favorite part of being in a big family?
There is never a dull moment. I feel like I can always say that there is never a dull moment in this household. But my favorite part would have to be the support system. I have so many best friends. Yeah. No matter what age. I mean, Casper, who's 8, is my best friend. I can talk to him about anything. So the best friends and the love and the encouragement, and knowing that no matter where I go in life, no matter how far away or how close, I will always have y'all to fall back on, and you will always be there for me, especially when I need it or when I don't necessarily need it, Yes, that's my favorite part.
I agree. So we live in Georgia, but you spend most of your year in college at Pittsburgh, which is a good 13 hours away. So what's been the hardest thing about being so far away from all of us in your hometown?
You kind of just said it. Leaving y'all has been the hardest part. Leaving my family, leaving, the South and going to the North is a big switch in itself. There's a lot of things that are different up there because, we live in a small Southern town, and I went to a Northern city, so that's been an adjustment.
The weather, geez.
That's true. It's very cold there. Well, for me, it's very cold there. So that's been hard too. I finally learned how to layer up in the winter months. But yeah.
So what encouragement would you give someone who is moving away from their family and their hometown, maybe for college or work opportunity?
Okay. Let me think. I think it's about trusting. I think trusting in yourself, but also trusting in God's plan and his path for your life, and being willing to take that leap of faith to make the move.
Yeah.
Because, you know, even if it's not necessarily where you stay forever, you would never know how it would affect you in positive ways if you didn't take that leap.
I agree.
So yeah, I would just say go for it. And then if you end up coming back home in a week or a month, then you come back home. But just try it out.
A quote that I've, heard recently is, you're not too big to mess up God's plan. You're not big enough to mess up God's plan. So sometimes we wait for 10 confirmations before we act, because we're like, well, God, I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to do this. But like, he's already given you, he's put that call in your heart, and he's already given you a confirmation. You're waiting for 10 more. But we're not big enough to mess up the plan that he has for us. And even if moving isn't what we're supposed to do, like making that move, then God will redirect you, because his plan is going to prevail no matter what. So something I admire about you is your consistency. You love consistently. Wow. Okay. Being 13 hours away, it would be easy for you to fall out of touch with us. And your boyfriend lives in Pittsburgh, so when you're home, it would be easy to fall out of touch with him as well. So you always make an effort to call us and send us Snapchats and just keep a healthy relationship with us despite the distance. So what drives you to be so consistent in your love?
Well, this is something that I guess I really didn't recognize about myself, to be honest. And I guess I haven't really thought about it much, because it seems natural to me. It seems natural to keep in touch with the people that I love, my family, my home.
Because you love us. Yeah.
What's the question again?
It was
what drives me to be?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I would just have to say the love that I have for my family. I love my boyfriend too, I guess, but also,
I guess.
I'm just kidding. Oh no. No, I do love my boyfriend, and he helps me feel at home when I'm not at home. Him and his family are very close. Like, we're very close. And so that's another reason too. I don't know. I just want to keep in touch with the people I love.
It's just a natural thing, because you love us. So.
Yeah, I do love you. And y'all are what grounds me. Family grounds me. So
exactly. So, and what tips would you give someone who is trying to keep that healthy relationship with their family, even if they're living far away?
I would say being intentional. That's one thing that Mom says, be intentional with what you do. Also, to make that time, even though you might be busy and you might not necessarily want to call home. That's not really a problem for me, but some people, may be just tired. But I would say plan out time, make that time, make it a priority to reach out to the people that love you and care about you, because they want to know how you are too. You know what I mean? And having good communication is important in any relationship that you have.
And clarity,
I don't know. Distance can be hard, and it's not easy all the time. But you have to remember that they're always there for you, and they're just a call away. So just call them. I don't know.
I love that you're talking about, being intentional too, because I think it was Ben Stewart. He said, people don't fall out of love; they fall out of trying. Yeah. So, because you have to put the effort in, you have to meet each other halfway, and so you can't just not call home and expect to have that same relationship, because so much goes on, and if you're not putting in the effort, then it seems like you don't care. But you do care, and that's why you always make an effort to call home. So what is your life motto? There may be more than one, so share as many as you want.
Okay. For right now in my life, and what I've been kind of using for the past year, Mom has always used this, but it's really hit me this past year, is fail until you don't. By Bobby Bones.
Oh yeah.
Mom just gave me his book when I went up to college this past year, and that's helped me a lot, because in his book he explains that failure isn't bad.
No.
But we in our minds turn it into something so negative. And a lot of the times that we're afraid to do things and to try things is because we're afraid of losing. But there's no losing. Like, we don't want to fail. But if you just stick it out and you don't quit, then you're gonna go further in life, if that makes sense. Like, you'll eventually have success. And you'll learn from that.
You learn a lot more from the failures than you do the wins. And I think, if you look at a failure as a failure, it's not going to help you. But if you look at a failure as an opportunity to learn and as a positive thing, then it's going to become a positive thing for you. And so really, thoughts are so powerful. The mind is so powerful. And so, you have to really pay attention to that kind of stuff, because if you choose to learn from your failures, you will. But if you choose to sit around and feel sorry for yourself and play the victim, that sounded really hard. But
no, it's true.
But it's true. Sometimes you need that tough love.
Yeah, that's what he says. Like, failure is information.
It is.
And if we can find the strength to bounce back when things get hard and learn from the defeat, then eventually we'll achieve that success. And that success can be many different things, you know? And then I do have two. This one has hit me like recently. Let me say what it is. It's be still and know that I am God. I will be graduating from college soon, and I'm graduating a semester early. So literally after next December, like, I'll be done with college. So that has been making me feel a little anxious, because I've had these set goals, and I haven't necessarily reached them, if that makes any sense. And so I've been like feeling a little down on myself. And I opened up my devotional recently, and thank you. And the first thing that it said was, be still and know that I am God. And that is something that Mom has always told us to, is to just be still and know that I am God. And it talked about in there that the enemy is the father of lies, and he wants us to feel that if our circumstances fall apart, so will we. And I like that reminder, because God loves us. He heals us. He'll never leave us, even when it gets hard.
He's not circumstantial.
It's just important to remember to trust him even when it gets hard, and let him do his thing. Let God do his thing in your life. So that's one that's been helping me find a sense of peace recently.
I love that. And there's a new song that came out by Maverick City and Elevation Worship, and it's called Just Wait. I don't know, the chorus goes like, why don't you just wait, something like that. But it's very good, and it's just all about waiting on the Lord. Because sometimes it can be so easy to want to rush into things, but God does say, be still and know that I am God. And so as long as you're pursuing him, then he's gonna guide you and direct you, even if you can't see where that's going right now. But he's still going to be there, and he's still going to direct you. And Uncle Todd has a sermon called Rip Up Your List, and it's all about, just trusting God's timing. And so maybe you haven't accomplished everything you want to accomplish right now. That means just God wants it to happen later, because maybe you don't need that in your life right now.
Of course.
And I believe that, God is going to always give you what you need, and he's not going to give you what you don't need. And so maybe, accomplishing one of the things that you want to accomplish would only stress you out more and put more pressure on you. And maybe, he has something different for you in this season. And so even when you can't see it, he's working. And so that's definitely important to remember. So I think we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining me, Kitty.
Of course.
You are a well of wisdom, and you just have so much treasure in your heart. And I am proud to call you my sister, and to get to hear this advice and this good wisdom every single day. So I love you. Thank you. Thank y'all for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Be a Light podcast. Join us every week for a new episode.